For more on the impact of load shedding on households and businesses, we're now joined by energy expert Adil Nchabeleng, and he joins us via our video link. Adil, when it comes to the impact of load shedding, I mean, it was bound to affect insurers, especially for many households in South Africa and businesses.
Absolutely. I think this is something that most insurers didn't see in hindsight. As a result, they assumed that load shedding will just be a normal nuisance to ordinary people in terms of their day-to-day life. But they didn't, sort of predict that it will actually have a hard-on impact in terms of increasing of their claims, as well as increasing the overall top 10 of their, areas whereby they've been actually experiencing this whole high claim, as well as two top trends that are showing that load shedding is among the top two, trends in terms of the problems within the financial sector. So it's not been an easy ride because they are having to pay for things that they've previously never had to pay for, and it's affecting their business models.
And how bad is the impact of load shedding, when it comes to how it's mainly affected businesses and households, especially when it comes to the amount of money that a number of insurance companies have had to give off from claims from its consumers?
Look, power surge-related claims in terms of homes and businesses has skyrocketed. Remember, at power surge, we're talking about anything from your television to your geysers, to your gates, to your lights, to your whole distribution of electricity in terms of your business and your home. And if anything goes and it goes off, you have the right to place a claim against it because it's not an act of nature. It's an act of a particular default due to the fact that there was just a breakdown in a system operation. So, insurance companies who provide insurance for household, provide insurance for cars and all of those things get affected. In a load shedding situation, a lot of accidents happen because most of the, for instance, traffic lights are operating on a manual level, and people are just doing as they wish. I mean, as you know, throughout the whole of Gauteng, we've had a trend which became a new trend where you had people who were actually car guards as well as street kids, literally now being in charge of traffic patrol as well as directing traffic. So you can see there's a huge problem, and it actually created a massive, a slowing down of the economy as a result. A lot of things blow up as a result when some of the power is retained, apart from power surges. Security companies have been complaining that most of the alarm systems blow off, as well as they go into a default state, and it's just causing a whole complete nonsense. So, unfortunately, it's hitting hard to insurers and insurance companies because as much as they would have loved to save money by not paying out claims, they are finding themselves in a higher claim rate environment, as well as the situation whereby people are claiming against things that were never previously, sort of claimed for in regards to load shedding. And now it's a for them. Top two of their top high level claims, which is high value vehicles, as well as load shedding due to power surge. Number one is load shedding due to, power surge. The second one is high value vehicles, hijack and theft. So you can see the top financial problems in insurance companies today is load shedding due to power surges. Now you're looking at a high rate of high value vehicles being stolen. And all of them are interrelated because the level of poverty reflects the level of crime in the country and the slow of economic growth.
And when it comes to power surge, I'd like us to zoom into that and, the effects of a power surge. And one would say, what is the fine print there when it comes to dealing with insurers? I mean, not so long ago, we were told that, load shedding will no longer be an impact when it comes to you claiming, because they were saying that you now have a schedule telling you when you have a power outage in your area. So what is the fine print there that we are seeing from some of these insurance companies not wanting to pay, saying that, well, when load shedding is going to take place in your home?
Look, there is no fine print on power surges claims. At some point did warn customers that if South Africa goes into a grid collapse, they will not be honoring any claims. We haven't been into a grid collapse as yet. And with the current trend, there is no possibility that we might go into. So the current claim structure, as well as normal operations of business, is as is now. So they have to honor every claim. If your fridge blows out as a result of a passage and power going up and actually blowing up your appliances, they have no choice but to replace those appliances, the claims, as well as the setting of. So everything goes off now. I mean, your fridges, your televisions, your computers, electronics. We're talking about your main DB itself, distribution box blowing off due to power surge, as well as motor gates and everything that's dependent on electricity. If it goes off as a result of power surges, because a power surge bends usually the motherboards in anything. The computer chip bends down the chips within appliances. So most of it have to be covered and have to be paid back. And as a result, the current environment that the insurance companies are finding themselves in is they're paying more than what they've ever paid before, and they have never had this kind of claim levels. So they are in a way complaining to say we are unhappy on the fact that we are paying out more money on something that was never our cost of expenses previously in our business operation model.
Yeah. And what does this do to the sector? I mean, you are saying that they've never had these claims before caused by electricity outages. One would say that we've seen the increase in motor vehicle theft, and we've seen more accidents taking place because of, traffic lights are not working. What is the recourse here for those companies who are really struggling here when it comes to the amount of claims being done by their customers?
Unfortunately, there's no recourse, because there's no way you can hold Eskom directly accountable for power surges, because it will take a long time to prove that there was a power surge in an electrical fault. The only way is you will only know by breaking down of appliances. And in the direct environment, consumers don't tend to Eskom. They tend directly to the supplier, the insurer, because they just want to insure, they just want to recover a lost appliance or technology or any of their products. So in this case, Eskom has to be placed under what we call an SLA, service level agreement, with consumers, to say they have to provide the electricity and provide it at the time that it's demanded, which means Eskom must be pushed in respect to honoring the supply of electricity, like how even there was a court application, I think previously, where the DA wanted to go to court and say to enforce that Eskom must actually provide electricity, not promise us that there will be continuous ongoing load shedding. So these are the kind of situations that financial companies need to start having as discussions with, for instance, the utility provider Eskom, that this is not tenable because it's now affecting directly our business operation processes. And now, not only that, it's costing us more money in capital, because every time you pay for a claim, you have to increase your reinsurer premium with whoever is covering you for that particular insurable incident. So we are seeing that now, that business is no more as usual. Companies are not going to enjoy profits because they are having to pay out most of the profits out in costs related to claims. So it's actually affecting business models. And not only that, operations of ordinary businesses. You don't want to be having situations you're having your technology breaking down because of this disruption of load shedding and Eskom's inability to provide electricity when it's required. We've seen in the economy itself, it's completely blasted off businesses. Most businesses had to close down, restaurants had to lay off people, in manufacturing, people lost jobs. We have lost a lot of economy. Companies just left South Africa, not tenable to this country.
And lastly, on a lighter note Adil, when it comes to load shedding, I mean, I've even just gotten a message and a notification that we'll have no load shedding until Monday. Good news for many South Africans. What can we attribute this to now that it seems as if load shedding seems to be stabilizing in the country?
Look, there's been a lot of fight on the ground. I must say there's been a lot of people who have made it a clear message to government to say we're no longer going to tolerate the rate of current mismanagement of Eskom. As a result, they need to go and fix the problems and ensure that there is a return of a guaranteed electricity supply. We are among them. I mean, if you could recall, about a couple of months ago, we said that it will take 3 to 6 months to resolve the crisis of load shedding.
Yeah.
And they're showing it that it takes literally that amount of months. Since the takeover of the new board, with the current Minister of Electricity, with the current interim CEO, they've managed to literally return the trend. They've recovered over 5,000 to 6,000 megawatts of generation capacity, which was in breakdowns.
All right.
At the time, it was the highest level. So there is hope, and if they continue doing the good job that they are doing, we will have no load shedding by December, by the way. So
right.
This is good news. We congratulate Eskom's team and everybody working behind the scene to make this happen.
Adil, thank you so much for your time here on SABC News. That is Adil Nchabeleng. He is an energy expert there, just giving us insight when it comes to how load shedding has affected the insurance sector. The Constitutional Court has dismissed an application made by the